Welcome back, everybody, to Day 7 of the Gears Pro League. We're heading into our 4th and final series of the night. eUnited going against Fire and Ice. It's going to be incredible. You have two teams that just always put on a good show anytime they play against each other, and it truthfully could go either which way, and that means our prediction segment is going to be an interesting one. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Guy Blaze, and hey, this is the final series of the night. We've already seen 3, but I think this one is going to be the longest one personally.
Yeah, it definitely could be, man. Fire and Ice versus eUnited. Neither one of these squads never disappoint when it comes down to their matchups, and you could never count Fire and Ice out of any series in which they play. Even if they're down a map, down a few rounds, we've watched them time and time again, and I'm not exaggerating, make some crazy comebacks. So
it's true.
eUnited is gonna have to come out here, button up, dot their I's, cross their T's, make some clean rotations, play calmly, listen to the IGL, and make some big-time plays. They do all of that, they're going to run away with this series without any issues whatsoever. And I must say, man, I love the background change up for you.
It's nice, isn't it?
I haven't seen you in blue.
You know, blue looks nice on me, man. I'm liking it. You know,
eUnited's...
Hey, hold on. Now, don't flatter me too much, all right? If eUnited's ended up saying if Reflections is over 6 feet tall, his stream setup will be blue when he comes back to introduce eUnited. So eUnited, I'm cashing in that coupon. You better honor it. I'm over 6 feet tall, all right? Bottom line, period. It is what it is. Massive guy, okay? I got the big and tall Herman Miller chair over here, all right? I just want to point that out. Check it out. Let's go ahead and move into our key player matchup of the week. And, man, you got to talk about these two. Powerz and Dyslexic. On one end, you got Powerz, who's about to break 1,000 kills, and I totally believe he's going to break 1,000 kills after this. I think he was like 966, something like that, so close. But then you got Dyslexic, the young gun.
Yeah, Dyslexic, man, these last few seasons, he has really broken out and made a name for himself. These are the pro league stats here for both these guys, and when it comes down to both of them reaching 1,000 kills tonight, I know Powerz is 39 away. Dyslexic is like 119 away.
There it goes.
Getting to that point. Positions 1, positions 3. Excel had a matchup against Dream Conspiracy. I know he probably racked up 60 in that series. So I wonder what his tally is going to be when we get that one added up going into tomorrow. But hey, it's a close one with these guys.
It absolutely is. You know, Dyslexic is that playmaker, the great disruptor, and it's nice to see him on the other side of Powerz. So, hey, this is going to be a great series. It truthfully is. And I got to know the maps we're rolling with, right? Because Vascar is that one they battle it out consistently. So I got to get into my pick and bans right now, Blaze, and just break it down. Because, again, Vascar is one that's big. What's another map that normally is played in a series between these guys?
A map that's normally played in a series as well could be Exhibit. We can see Exhibit, both teams super talented there. But I've seen before in the past, sometimes eUnited will ban Exhibit against this Fire and Ice team. Don't want to give them a map in which they're comfortable on, even though eUnited is comfortable on as well. We can definitely see Foundation being played out as well. So I'm thinking District, Foundation, and Vasgar are 3 maps in which we can see in this series.
I think Harbor might slip in too. I got a weird, funny feeling about it. Let's see what's going to be in our pick and bans. Let's go ahead and pull it up and check it out. Will Harbor be there? It's going to be banned out by Fire and Ice. Fair, you know what? I knew it would be. Fire and Ice is not like the play on Harbor. Fair enough. And eUnited isn't necessarily a fan there either. But eUnited is a better Harbor team than FNI. So I was like, maybe eUnited throws it in, but fair enough. We got Vascar, we've got District, we got Foundation. So Exhibit, eUnited banned it.
I just told you, man. I kind of read the cycle. I said we might see Vasgar, District, and Foundation. Those are the 3 maps, and we also did see eUnited ban Exhibit. They says, we're good, you're good, but we'll rather take you out on Foundation. We don't want you to be that comfortable. So the map cycle I expected. Now it's time to talk about predictions, because I think both these squads are going to be talented on all 3 of these maps. It just comes down to who wants it the most.
That's true. Well, you want to go into predictions, fair enough. I think I made it very apparent who I'm going with. But Blaze, I'm going to let you start it off. Okay, you got 2 great teams, FNI and eUnited. Who are you going for?
So, for this series, I thought about going against the grain as I went for all the rest of my series, but I didn't want to be too crazy with the picks. But I also kind of knew in my gut that eUnited can come out away with this series. And I'm picking them tonight to do so.
It's a great
We're
pick.
a week away from the major. eUnited has been playing fantastically throughout this split of the Pro League. If they are going to come out, win it, look like an old dominant squad that we've seen before, I'm expecting for them to be better this week than they were the last. So this is a series in which I want to see them come away with.
Hey, fair enough. eUnited. So let's talk about it. eUnited has been on the come up. They've been looking absolutely incredible. Their gameplay is on point, and I think the team is incredibly talented. And that's why, when eUnited called me out and said, let's go ahead and, if he comes back, he'll be over 6 foot tall with the blue. I said, fair enough. That's easy enough.
My lights to blue.
But you know what? You do, because you're representing EU. And I think I made it very apparent who I'm going with the blue. I'm going Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice is going to take this series, Blaze. Bottom line, period. And that's why I came in with the blue. eUnited talking some nonsense in there saying, I have the power over reflections. Reflections. I can make an emote. You got no power, brother. I did this for Fire and Ice. Okay, bottom line, period, eUnited. So take a seat. eUnited social media manager. It's not eUnited the team. I'm not going at the team. I want to make that clear before I get hate once again from the players. I'm going at the social media manager because he started this and literally made an emote that said Freeflections, which, speaking of which, chat, do not sell your soul by saying Freeflections for new skins and for fresh skins. You guys have dignity. I've always been on your sides. I've been pumping you up all night. Okay, so just forget about the Elevate Hive discussion. That
damn, yo, eUnited got reflections tight. Yo, he going.
No.
I should have brought you my jersey. I should have brought out the F&I jersey for you. We got to get you one.
F&I. I made my lights blue for you guys. Please send me a jersey. I'm not begging, but I'm begging. Like, I just want to represent.
You got to send a jersey to the entire UMG crew because everybody wants one now.
Please do. Please do. We would definitely like them. So, chat, where you at? Are you gonna bite the hand that feeds you and go eUnited, or are you gonna go Fire and Ice? Which one are you gonna go with? You Latin America. I know you got to represent Latin America. Am I right or am I wrong?
That's
chat,
true.
who you going with?
I don't know who the chat's gonna go for this time around. They can go EU. They can go F&I, but also eUnited has a EU LATAM themed emote for the squad. So they're playing into the fans pretty well. Wow, they may have bribed a few of them with the Chrome Steel Azuna skins they're giving out. I don't know.
Chrome Steel Azuna, okay. It's all right. You playing into the Azuna quite well. All right, chat, come on, kill the suspense. Who are you going with? Let us know. It's going to be eUnited. You know what?
Okay.
But you're right. They know their fan base. They're selling into Latin America, giving them out, saying, hey, we'll give you some free skins. They bought the chat. That's the only reason why they went for them. Other than that, if eUnited doesn't even come in chat and represent, money does talk. Well, free skins talk, at least in this case. Okay. Yeah. But you still don't have a skin. It is what it is.
Free skins is as good as currency around here, all right? Don't you disrespect free skins.
Well, I'm not disrespecting free skins. I'm just saying, where's the eUnited skin? I don't know. It is what it is. But hey, man, it's good.
Yo, when is the skin coming through?
Let me take a step. And again, I want to make it very apparent. This is not directed towards the players. It's literally the social media manager in chat who always wants to come at my throat. You can spread Freeflections all you want, but it's not going to help. Hey, check it out, Fire and Ice. Hey, you know what? I'm kind of honored that they made that. So I'm proud that you made that. I'm not even gonna be tight about it.
If it's anything that I can say that I absolutely love as a commentator and been casting Gears Esports for as long as I have, I love seeing the orgs get into the mix, go back and forth with us, the interactions on the chat, the interactions on social media. Any org out there watching, keep it up. You guys have honestly made the Pro League that much more enjoyable.
I agree with that.
With your interactions with the fans, man. I think that's what esports is all about. We're here to watch video games, watch the best Gears of War players in the world compete. And, it's as fun as we make it. All right. And right around here at the UMG streams, we've been having a damn good time with the Pro League. So I hope you all in chat have been enjoying yourself. Every single week, we go back and forth when it comes down to predictions, who we think we're going to win, lose, our favorite players, the crazy plays in which our professional players put on. It's always a good show.
It definitely is. And you're right, man. When the orgs get trash talking, whether it's against us, the players, or the teams, the other orgs, hey, it's always a fun time and it creates a good environment. I'm all for it. I really am. But I must say, though, Fire and Ice, you got to be out there and chat a little bit more. I need to see you guys represent much as eUnited represents, because as much as the love-hate relationship is there, eUnited is pretty on point with giving support to their organization for what it's worth. for what it's worth. So Fire and Ice, I need to see a little bit more like a jersey, but check it out. We're about to get into this series, and it really is always a good series when F&I plays eUnited. F&I does not care about the prestige and all that about eUnited. They're young guns. They like to come in, and well, I say young guns dyslexic, of course, in reference to him, but they come in strong, and they just are a talented roster. Their initials is where they base their play on, but the thing is, though, that does give me some concern, though, Blaze, if I had to bring it back down to reality and be real about it. eUnited is a more mature team. They're a more seasoned team. They're a veteran team after all, and they've got smarts. They've got incredible players, and that gives me concern because that means they're not going to be fooled by the flash and dash of Fire and Ice off the initials, right? Those initials can be just as strong as Fire and Ice wants them to be, but eUnited is not going to play into their hands. They can back up, put them into the blender, and make some magic happen. That's my only concern for Fire and Ice because their late or mid to late game is where they struggle. Their initials are fine, but their mid to late game is where they might get outplayed from eUnited.
And I think that's a great assessment, okay? Because Fire and Ice, okay, they live off some of those hot initials on maps like District, maps like, even the big fights on Vascar, the rotations on Vascar to kind of play it complements the speed of Fire and Ice, the wolf packing of Fire and Ice. Vascar does that for them. But like I said, some close quarter maps like District or Harbor, they get those first few kills off the initial. Xploidz and Dyslexic, they take off. They're playing it in their opponent right there and right there. They're not trying to pick a second team fight. That's the core of their gameplay. But then when Fire and Ice backs up, they slow the round down and show that they have a different level of gameplay. That's when they're looking to be at their best. Now, eUnited, they are masters at setting the pace, being aggressive, slowing it down, using every bit of utility and power weapons that they have to get the most out of positioning to win the rounds with ease. So that maturity and that experience from eUnited, they know how to play off the aggression, off aggressive teams like Fire and Ice, to be able to find advantages in those scenarios. And when they do flip the switch, because they'll fight you for the first 2 rounds. I'm like, all right, these guys are going to fight again. Let's throw a different look at them and let's trap them and make them feel demoralized. They do that. Sometimes they just start running away with the series because they got a deep bag of strategies that they know when to pull out to just throw their opponent off guard. And from an intellectual aspect of calling strategies and making the right play, and then they'll outshoot you and show you in the skill aspect that, hey, we're better as well.
It's true. Absolutely true. I think, if I'm being, again, very real, I think eUnited is the better all-around team. I quite truthfully think so. But Fire and Ice has that ability to kind of disregard, I think, strategy at certain times and just play their game. Their slaying power can speak volumes and in a way can carry them forward. Again, Dyslexic on Vascar, even though eUnited picks that for map number 1, which fair enough, it's going to be a huge battle. Dyslexic is the one you have to watch out for if you're an eUnited member, because he's the one who could be hiding in that coveted corner. Remember the one to the left, just outside of Tank? Hey, man, Dyslexic loves to 10 toes down, place it up in that spot.
That's the secret man spot.
It is, and no one checks it. Keep your head on a swivel. Dyslexic is going to be the reason why Fire and Ice wins or loses this map.
I 100% agree with you, Taylor. He most definitely will be. Most definitely will be, all right? Now, we're about to enter map number 1 on Vascar. It is our last series of the night, folks. Fire and Ice versus eUnited. And we're kicking this round off with a 3-1 strategy for F&I to get to quick capture on top of the B hill. But eUnited wastes no time at the top portion of the map, getting the decap at A.
Absolutely. Big battle underway. It's getting started. F&I. Or who don't we have a number for? That's going to be player 5. No, excuse me, player 6. That's going to be player 7. So if you're looking at the mini-map, guys, you're looking at player 7. Player 7 is going to be the one without a number, but just keep that in mind. That's going to be
multiple
explosive.
Players without numbers. It's
oh, no, there is multiple players without numbers. That's going to make things very fun. I've always seen one, but I've never seen this many. This is the most I've ever seen.
Usually like 1 or 2, but all 3 of these players did something. They did the same thing that got them no number, whatever that may be. But you see, Fearzly trying to defend his home hill, but eUnited has had this locked in majority of, well, they've had this area locked in, but they just finally get the hill locked in. So with that, 1 down coming through, multiple players out in the open. They're going to just capitalize off this positioning until Fire and Ice can bring that third guy over, and we see him finally join the fight. Powerz wasn't able to get out with his, Kenny wasn't able to get out with his teammates, so one player will lose their life there for eUnited, but he's going to back up and wait for Kenny to come off the respawn.
Absolutely the case. eUnited sitting comfortable. Xploidz looking to make a move onto Charlie. Dyslexic and Fearzly is going to be joining into the mix. We've got a Lancer battle underway as it's going to be a 4v3, bit of a mismatch, and Fire and Ice needs to get a trade in order to even up the odds. And eUnited now going for their push. Kenny's going to be down. He's back up into the fight, but there's going to be trades on both ends, and Dyslexic's going to be up. The big playmaker can't make it happen, and Powerz gets to trade. 3 down for F&I, but only 1 up for eUnited as well. So neither team going to be able to really establish much here, but Toti is going to make his way over towards Bravo to lock that in, and eUnited is hot on his heels.
Oh, yes, they are. They're trying to hunt him down currently. Now, Toti will be able to make it around this inside of the map. Fire and Ice, they do have the win condition with the 2 hills in which they currently have, but they just have to hold those hills. Easier said than done. As eUnited is on the hunt, they will find 2 kills and get a decap at the B hill as well. While they still have the lead, that's everything that they need currently in this moment. They're going to just take the safe hills. That's going to be C and B. Player 8 is just going to regroup with his teammates. He knows not to stay on this side of the map and give up a free kill to Fire and Ice.
It's definitely tense coming down to the wire, and eUnited does have the lead. Fire and Ice needs to take control of Bravo while simultaneously hoping Toti survives this 1v2 battle. He's about to get pinched. He's going to force the issue on 1. Player 8's going to be moving in. Oh, he's down, and that's going to be a big win for eUnited. That should be the round without question. One's going to be transferring through mid, but I think it's a bit too late. And yeah, eUnited's going to take round number 1, but that was a close one, Blaze.
Yeah, it was a very, very close one indeed. And that was eUnited winning this map right there to kick that one off on their bad side. So that's a big round for them. The next few rounds they are going to have an advantage on is round 2, rounds 4, and rounds 5 as far as spawn goes. So they got a lot going in their favor currently. Botox going down. But we saw, the last time I want to say we saw F&I play this map. Actually, no, it was last night when we were casting challengers. Yeah. One team was just flipping back and forth. Two squads were flipping back and forth, their good side and bad sides. And it was like, honestly, at this level, it's anybody's game. Whoever's just going to make the quicker rotations and just be decisive on the heels in which they want, we're going to win. But at a higher level of gameplay, it plays out a little bit differently because these players know how to capitalize off any little advantage. Praized is going to shoot across, get control of these stairs to allow his teammate cap this B hill. This is a mirror initial that Fire and Ice ran last round. Well, hell, both teams ran these same strategies, but flipped it.
So eUnited's losing the 2-1 at this point in time. But with that being said, though, let's see what's going to happen as Dyslexic now is going to be trying to just Lancer out Powerz, keep him at bay as much as he can. Fearzly's going to be there for the help. They're not going to push up just yet. eUnited is definitely thinking this through. It's going to be a 2v2 no matter how you cut it. Player 7 might force a 1v on player 3 who's in mid. That's an awkward spot for Xploidz to be in, but then again, with the transition from 5v5 to 4v4, we do see a lot more mid lane rotations and mid presence. And who knows, getting into the major, we might see even more of that as teams start to find a different meta, different strategies. But I am surprised eUnited has taken as much time as they are to make this push.
Yeah, eUnited, they're taking their sweet time in this moment because they're looking for, okay, where is our opening at? Okay, where are we going to make this rotation to kick it off? Because they already have their opponent's home hill, but they got to respect the spawn. And they know one player's coming off respawn now, so they don't want to get aggressive towards that lane. So they're just going to have to back up and hold the heals in which they have. They're counting numbers. Currently, Fire and Ice, they're in a good spot.
Definitely aren't a good spot. eUnited takes the 2-1 though, and surely takes the win condition. And yes, they do, but just barely. Praized running through Xploidz and Toti. Fearzly also some shaky shots going everywhere. Picks up 1-1. This might be a full red, but does it amount to much? Not really. Kenny eventually gets the trade, and we still have a 3v3 battle. Make that a 3v2, maybe a 2v. Whoa! Kenny and Powerz last alive, now backing out as Fire and Ice looks to retake control, and they should get it.
Yeah, they should get it. They're going to be dropping down low to get this B hill. eUnited. They already have their home hill locked in their favor, but they need to find another hill, and it looks like they're going to be focusing towards C. Kenny has 2 players in front of him. Right-hand advantage. He takes a shot, throwbacks to safety. His teammate finishes off the kill. That's how you entry frag and kind of, break in there with the help of your teammates. That first player has to soak up some damage, but you got to have faith in your teammates to come through, clean up the kills. It didn't work out too well for eUnited there in that scenario as a whole. F&I, they're going to close out this round.
And yes, they definitely are. They tied up 1-1 to Xploidz. I wouldn't expect anything less. Both teams are just so incredibly good. And speaking of that, man, I mean, they're pretty much tied when it comes to Pro League. Now, I do know heading into this, eUnited has that 3rd place position. Fire and Ice has the 4th. And but with that being said, still, win-loss record is 5-1. Whoever wins this is going to overtake the other. So this is a big matchup overall to secure the top 3 position.
Yeah, it is. And then, it's going to put them in, the winner of this is going to put them into 2nd over the boys of Rebel, because Rebel has 2 losses. So
you're right. You're right.
One of these teams will be in that 1-loss category. So this is for position number 2. Who's going to be right there with PK or behind PK? Because it really depends on, you got to ask yourself, which one of these squads have beat PK throughout the season so far?
You really do have to ask yourself.
Because PK only has 1 loss.
Yeah, PK only has 1 loss, and I don't. Yeah, it was it was to Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice beat Pittsburgh Knights. Remember week number 2?
Yep, 2-1.
So Fire and Ice, believe it or not, if they win this,
they'll get first position.
Well, they could. Well, they won't be in first position just yet, but there's a chance they can get to that first place position. This is only the start, though. But the 2nd for sure would be guaranteed at that point. Fire and Ice, 2-1 hill advantage. Tank fight, though, not going their way, and that's because Praized, who's been playing one hell of a game. But eUnited, they're kind of pigeonholed over on Bravo. And they will, in fact, be breaking out 2-2.
So
Fire and Ice left A open, though.
The reason why it'd be Fire and Ice having close to getting is because they got 2 matches tomorrow. I think they're one of the only teams who have to play twice. Well, them and Rise play twice tomorrow. So Fire and Ice plays Oxygen, and they play Rebel. So those are going to be some big-time games. Them versus Rebel, that's going to tell a lot.
We'll say this. If Fire and Ice is able to take first place position, and even the same thing for eUnited. I'm getting carried because eUnited could do much the same, right? They have the same run in a way.
Yeah.
It is a great story. It truthfully is an amazing story.
And
but either way, though,
PK has to play VQ tomorrow, so that's going to be
Bronny's been turning it up
hot lately.
Yep.
And the one thing is, when it comes down to the VQ team, and we'll focus on this matchup, is that their 2 main Slayers are in the top 5 of the league, okay? And they just got another Slayer technically. VQ, man, really can be a force to be reckoned with. And it sucks to say it, but they may be the dark horse of the tournament. But we'll figure that out when it comes.
Absolutely. Well, look at this matchup. eUnited coming back. They've got the win condition, but just barely. It's on a knife's edge. It comes down to this engagement. Fire and Ice needs to win this fight at this moment, but they're not doing it. eUnited is doing a great job isolating these individual players. I say that, but Dyslexic looking to make some moves. He's full red, still forcing issue on Powerz, and he went in fearlessly, but Powerz said, sit down, young man. I'm going to teach you how to play the game. Fearzly's out of the way, and eUnited should be taking this round.
Yeah, they should be. They're looking good to do so. They take this round right here, man. I think they got a commanding lead in this series, but early on, it is Vascar. They will win both rounds. Each team really just trading off their bad side between the first 3 rounds. So even though I talk a lot about it, because I do need to mention the small advantages that they give, we're seeing that these squads say, okay, doesn't matter for us. When it comes down towards the checkpoint side of the map, it just seems to be strong in the first half right now.
Yeah, it definitely does at this point in time. Last round of the first half, we're going to have shocks, I do believe. Yes, we will. So both teams neck and neck, eye to eye when it comes to the power weapons. Fair enough. Shocks are going to be great, specifically for that tank fight when they're trying to gain control for Bravo. Fire and Ice is going to have, at least at the rip, maybe a harder time with taking over B. You can tell eUnited is being very aggressive. Praized getting in that typical spot to just try and keep FNI at bay. Player 9 is going to rotate around. That's going to be Kenny. He's going to join Powerz in that 2v2 battle against Dyslexic and Fearzly for the power of the A hill. But in the meantime, we have a little bit of standstill, but I think Dyslexic is going to be the first one to make a move.
Powerz cleans up that kill, and Fearzly's going to have to scurry away towards his home hill, wait for his teammate to come off the respawn. He's actually going to cut through mid-map knowing that that wasn't a good fight for him, so they take a 3v2 fight towards B. But that's the quick rotations that can happen if you utilize the mid-map on Vasgar. That quickly, he gave his team numbers in a different fight before eUnited could react to it. Now, eUnited will have 2 players on top of the C hill, and the only way you're going to get to this hill is going through the spawns of either side. eUnited will have the bottom route blocked off, but they need to get an extra man towards the fight at C.
That's an order.
Kenny gets one down. If he gets a kill, that's good for eUnited, but he's going to take the escape route through mid-map. They disengaged, and it's about to be a collapse on B, probably.
It might be. Player 2 can still, or should be player 3 can force the 1v1 if he can take down player 6. He's full. What are you? A bit of a miss roll straight in front of Praized, and Praized will clean him up. Dyslexic now is in a 1v2. This is the fight for control once again, and Fire Nice doesn't need to give up this control. eUnited already has the point lead as it is, but Dyslexic is going to try and find an opening here. He needs some help, and luckily he is going to be joined by Toti. But either way, it might not help. The team pickup can't even come through, and I gotta say, eUnited are firing on all cylinders. Their teamwork is on point. They are looking incredible.
Yeah, they are. They're looking really good here in this round, Taylor. And so far, they got the A hill fortified. The B hill's locked in as well. This is going to be a difficult play for FNI. We're in a late game. I'm looking at FNI's numbers. They're spread out for a lot of 2v2 and 1v1 fights. Now, majority of their members will be rotating from the top side. Player 4 is going to have to get a 1v1 for B soon, though, if FNI wants to win this round.
Oof, Dyslexic's gone. Yeah, it should be it. Nothing to be done. Player 4 is also out of the way. That was Fearzly. He was trying to engage on B, but Praized sits him down. That's going to be a 3-1 lead. A very successful first half for eUnited. We'll be heading into round number 5, switching up the hills just a little bit. But for the most part, though, that shouldn't change up the team fights. Toti struggling at 1-5 with 11 deaths. F9 needs to step it up. One of the things they pride themselves on are their initials and their slaying power, and we're not seeing any of it.
Yeah, no, we're not seeing it at all here. eUnited does a fantastic job spreading out the map, challenging their individual battles. Well, they're forcing FNI to take some of these individual battles. But, you know, we see FNI trying to, you know, group up, Wolfpack, take these big man fights. But when it comes down to Vasgar, Taylor, it's just about thinking ahead of your first fight, your second fight, you know, asking yourself, you know, can you win this round without getting into the engagement? Can you win it off a game of rotations? Can you take a battle having an extra man every time? That's what these players are attempting to do off these rotations and off these engagements. So you see eUnited pick up off of 2 kills to start. A Botox on Toti. Player 9 knows where the last one is. Kenny gives the call out. You see how he's playing it, back rolling, waiting for a little extra help. He is going to be able to get it. And the other hills are being captured. 1v1s for the win.
1v1s for the win. Will the domination come in? Maybe. Player 6 is doing a good job. Praized having one hell of a game, man. He truthfully is. Now forcing the issue onto Toti. Toti, it's a nice shot. That's going to keep fire and ice in it so far, but the collapse is still there, and Toti is getting out-angled and sandwiched, and Fire Nice has no presence on the map yet. The only one is going to be Fearzly. Xploidz just spawns back in. Even so, Fire Nice looks as if they will keep the round alive. You got to get them out of there, and they do. So here we go. We're going to see a little bit more. Oh my.
I didn't even know that was on the map. I saw him turn around. I said, what you looking at? Oh, gets a second.
Powerz. Hey, Powerz wants it. And for good reason, man. That guy wants to be at 1,000 kills. Body shot. Can we get a little bit more on the Fearzly? Yeah, we can. Xploidz 2Gs. Is that a 4K? That's an ace.
4K. That's a 4K.
Oh,
now,
my.
one player, the first player he killed came off respawns fighting a 1v1 up top, but Powerz, no more shots left in the scope.
Jeez.
He's going to cap up this hill with his teammate, and it's going to be another 2v1 up top for eUnited. They're just going to take that hill and come off their opponent's home hill at F and just relax, take a breath, maybe wait for sniper ammo to come up.
Powerz is just different, bro. Powerz is just different at this point. Toti, okay.
I will say, man, that's how hard it is to trip cap off this F hill, because we've seen several different initials happen there, and now it's getting scary for eUnited in this moment because they have to turtle around their home hill. That was a great shock grenade from Praized, and his opponent will not be able to move up on this side of the map. New snipers should be spawning here in a bit, but I don't know if it's going to make that much of an impact in these last 20 seconds.
Praized hitting shots with the Boltok, making Fearzly's life difficult. He drops. Dyslexic is gone as well. Xploidz on the ground once again. I think that's his second down. Oh my goodness. Talk about getting put in a blender. 4 out of the way. eUnited, calm down a little bit. We need to see at least one decent map.
4-1 lead here. They win both of their good sides in rounds 4 and 5. They seem to be back on point. They will be going back to their bad side over here. But as we've seen in the first 3 rounds, it did make a difference there.
Okay, well, no difference at all.
No, but
put something center map at this point. Change it up.
The sniper rifle will be there throughout the entirety of the game, and honestly, that tells me it gives more of an advantage over towards the side of the Swarm squad. If you're a COG team and you want to put a centerline power weapon, I personally think helicopter is a good play on that side of the map. But that placement favors the lower spawn a little bit better, and that's a reason why I think the helicopter placement is the better centerline placement for the COG team.
Potential final round. Praized runs to 16-14, and he is just popping off. 17, another one tallied up. He's now hunting Toti, and Toti's going to pick up 1, but not enough. He's going to get finished off. That's 3 gone. Xploidz last alive. Can he even do anything? Well, Praized is going to back off. He understands that eUnited has positioning. He'll allow Fire and Ice to push into him, but I'm worried for Fire and Ice to push into him. I mean, Praized has just been tearing it up. He doubles back. He's gone.
Yeah, he thought
Xploidz 5-3 and 16. Jeez, it's been a crazy showing from eUnited, Blake. I mean, I am blown away.
What was the stat line? I missed it.
5-3, and 11 deaths.
You said about 16. You said about
16 deaths, something like that. Oh, good.
We'll see it when it comes back around, but so far this engagement at the tank, Fearzly gets 2. Okay. Well, he's gonna get 2 there. 2v2 fight currently left on the map. 1v1 on your screen. Help's coming from behind, so you see Dyslexic trying to run away. He's trading shots, trying to get to help. Will not make it there in time. And so eUnited is going to slow this one down. They want to make sure they can get this E hill first before they even put their attempts at D.
All right. Fire and Ice has control. They have the lead so far in this round. But you got to shut down some key players. One of them, of course, being player number 8, the one on your screen, who's 21 and 11 with only 5 deaths. That is an impressive stat line. He started tonight and overall kills, what, 39 away? Now he's just on the edge of taking it over for himself. On the other side, you have Dyslexic, who's in 3rd, but there's no competition. Powerz is quickly making his way up, and he's single-handedly wiping out the squad of F&I.
He got 21 on this map. That's
what I'm saying. He's well on his way today. He could do it here if this round continues to round 9.
Now, Dyslexic is going to run into his own shock just a bit here. Kenny finally falls. Praized saves his life there. They both back up together to try to fight Xploidz, and Praized gets revived, but not before Kenny uses him as a little bait to get a nice shot there on Xploidz. This is eUnited on their opponent's spawn side of the map. They're decapping the E hill. Trip cap domination scenario for them. 2v4 fight for these 2 eUnited members. One will fall, but did they buy enough time to get the win condition back in their favor? I don't think they did. They had to reach the 200 mark first, and the COG team will win off of 1.
Definitely will. Got to get that break.
Player
15 seconds.
Decap that hill, though. Is he? Does he? He doesn't get in time, does he?
He doesn't get in time.
He has to fight it. Go wrap shot that. There you go.
Okay, so is it? No way.
On a home hill.
F&I got this hill, though.
Everything, but eUnited, they lose it. It was a great attempt from him.
It definitely was. But you can even see in the rounds eUnited won, they won in a crisp way, like a pretty convincing way. But the rounds that F&I have won 2 and 6 have been like a battle till the very end. That's the differences between the frequency these teams are playing on, in my opinion. So Fire and Ice, even though they win that round, it wasn't easy by any means.
It's kind of like how we watched the last series with Hive and Elevate. And I was saying that, yeah, Hive survived this round, but they're not thriving yet, right? They're surviving the rounds, but they have not taken over the pace. And they have not been able to force their opponent to play the moves in which they're making. So F&I doing a good job picking up that one, but we need to see something more definitive from them. And honestly, if we don't, they lose map number 1 at this point.
I want to be honest with you. If Fire and Ice turns this around, even sends it to around 9, I'd be severely impressed. I'd be impressed. I really would be, because eUnited's just been playing so incredibly well. But they got to close it out here. Team fight on to tank, and Fire and Ice looks to be winning it potentially. Yes, that's going to be how many down? 3 down. Kenny's trying to dip out with the long shot. That's going to be huge if he gets away, and he does. But Fire and Ice, it's like a Congo line. There's 3 people chasing him, and they finally get him out of the way. Of course, he's intelligent. He backpacks, but it doesn't even matter. Fire and Ice takes a round. Hold up a second. I said I'd be impressed if we go to round 9, Blaze. We're on round 8.
That was their bad side too, Taylor. So now they get the advantage of being able to better defend their home hill from the checkpoint side of the map. They got the retro lancers and the shot grenades, but this is going to be a comeback block. But which power weapon is F&I going to choose to block? Actually, they upgrade their incendiaries. Now, eUnited, do you want to block this shock and close this? Yeah, block it. There you go. So F&I really has to come out with this round because they let that one slip by. But hey, they'll have a block for the last round when they need it.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. See how it pays off. No one picks up the shock, though, so that's going to be a non-factor here. Both teams just kind of want to... Well, excuse me, Xploidz does, but in terms of eUnited, no one gets it. Powerz, long shot in hand, gets away. The team pickups is there. Powerz just one shot, one more bullet, takes him down, and he gets away. And now he's in a power position. Fire and Ice may have the 2-1, but eUnited can make some magic happen.
And where Powerz is, he can kind of watch both hills. Xplosive is going to run away and say, I need all the help in the world. We got 3 players on our home hill. Just make sure you can get us a hill. Find us something. So eUnited will find a decap at E. And I can surely see Powerz rotating his sniper around. You see player 8, he's putting himself in a position to look across towards the F hill if his opponents want to contest. He's going to have to work with Kenny to do so. It's either that or they push up towards the D hill to play for this side of the map, and they know that all 4 players are alive, so they're not worried about anyone spawning up.
Nobody just yet. This would be a massive round for Fire and Ice. Obviously, to stay alive, send it to round 9, but as you mentioned, that disable.
Oh, he has the shock. Okay, so you wanted to get Praized over there for him to have the shock with Kenny. That's what they were waiting for.
We're going to commit a lot for this push, Blaze.
Oh, but look at Powerz with the angle. He has the setup for him.
I know. And if he connects,
engagement, he has the active. He's looking for nothing but body shots.
And Toti and Dyslexic. Oh, and that is a great shot. That's another great shot.
Beautifully executed, but nobody's there for the revive.
Oh, no. They're crawling for the hill.
They're going to double cap and block them out if they can do it.
Oh, no. Oh, there is a pickup. There's a pickup. Fire and Ice is there. Now they're crawling again.
Oh, they trade out the kill. Someone from eUnited did make it over in time, but it was at the very last second.
You see Fearzly starts sprinting off, but Xploidz like, brother, I'm here. Like, come back and get me. Crazy round, but this is where the eUnited special needs to happen.
This a 1v1. That was big, though. The headshot he just got, because now Dyslexic has to play this one differently. He's trying to bait him to use the sniper, but as you see, it's the COG team who wins it off of 1.
This is going to be a big hold.
Other fight. It has to go.
And you have the other 1v1. Yeah, on E, you got
team fight. They get the revive. It's possible.
Oh, it's very possible.
In time.
It's oh my gosh! It's hold. They've done it.
Or did they?
No, get on. No, you got to get on F. They haven't done it yet.
2 seconds. They need to defend the home hill.
Xploidz has to go so big. Xploidz has to go so big, and he doesn't. Player 1 is there. Toti, he just has to wait for his teammates to get back into it. Toti needs to pick off at least one trade. He can't do it. Dyslexic gonna come in. He's gonna hit a nice break. It's not gonna be. Player 4's on E. Player 4 gets over to E. Will eUnited be able to get over there in
Powerz,
time? The
big
lens of fire
plays.
needs to happen. He's forced to back off though, but this gives time to F&I to get back into the fight. Now they're winning the fight on their own home hill.
Team fight, yo, Kenny won a big 1v1 against Fearzly.
Someone just win it.
Kenny!
Dyslexic.
Oh no, it was a hard-fought battle in that round, but they get it. Fire and Ice sends us to a round number 9, but talk about a wild round to end that one on.
Just, I couldn't stay composed. It was just too much
that's when
going on.
Gears is at his best, when we can't stay composed. That's when we're watching some damn good games, when we don't know what the hell is going to happen. Which 1v1 do we need to focus on? Where's the win condition? F&I did a great job threatening multiple heals there, but when it comes down to that D heal to defend against multiple waves over and over and over is so hard to do. And it wasn't no shot grenade respawning up in that moment. Now, let's not forget, we are going to have a block. Actually,
yeah, we got it on the retro.
okay, yeah, we got the block on the retro. All right,
We
so
got
block on
frags
the
up
retro. eUnited says, you know what? We'll get some frag grenades on the top portion of the map as well. I like that placement. I like it from him.
Yeah. Split up the fight. I said I'd be impressed if Fire and Ice sends it to round 9. You look at Toti, 7-10 with 24 deaths, yet we're in round 9. Hey man, Vascar is a unique map, Blaze. You always say it. Sometimes it's about that objective work more so than the kills.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's about it's a game of rotations in some of these moments, man. And you don't have to necessarily fight to win on Vascar. You do have to fight, but in certain scenarios, you can win just by rotating and taking heals. Now, we have made it to a round 9, and Taylor, we said we would be impressed by Fire and Ice, and we are definitely impressed by them. They always somehow find a way to get themselves to these positionings. Now, this is going to get broken by the 1v1 up top. I don't think that these players engage at tank just yet. I think it's Powerz and Dyslexic in this battle. Who's going to win it? We watched them here once before in the last round. Powerz figured out how to get a leg up. He's going to wait for the reload. He moves up after it. He knew that Dyslexic was like, yo, you playing around too much, okay? Powerz comes down the stairs, tries to get a little battle here. Yeah, but Dyslexic disengages. He just knows that he needs not die in this position.
Still nobody gets E. I'm loving this is just good gears at this point. eUnited will finally take E. It was a bit slow, but they got it. Fearzly, though, does take down Praized. He's going to get the finish. Xploidz gets the long shot. Rotates over with Dyslexic now in a 1v versus Powerz. The two who are fighting it out for 1K, and Dyslexic will win that engagement. And an E should go to the way of F&I. And you also have player 7 who's being angled out. Fire and Ice is going for a domination.
Oh, snaps, F&I. Can they pull it through? Not yet. eUnited. It's the same way of them defending this home hill, the way that Fire and Ice defended it the previous round. They are fighting for this map, not trying to give it up just yet. They will be able to clean up the kills on this side. So they're going to start to break out. We did just have a lead change in favor of F&I, so all they got to do is hold the hills in which they have, and they'll win this round. eUnited, they do a great job picking up 2 kills. Those are 2 big kills from Praized.
And the
Dyslexic
Dyslexic
from the lower side of the map to pick up 2. We'll see what eUnited can do off the back of that.
So Fire and Ice needs to just slow it down a little bit, get their numbers back in tow, and force the engagements. E is going to be in their line of sight. You have to think player 7. Xplosive is calling this out. He's calling the numbers, and you can see on the minimap, eUnited now is sending their numbers to tank so they can rotate over towards F. Dyslexic needed to stay alive there, at least get a trade. He doesn't, so 3 strong is going to be eUnited pressing into F. The shot, though, is gathered from Fearzly, and he needs to make sure he uses that to the fullest extent. The scoreline is so close. eUnited's going to have the 2-1, though. They're 15 seconds from taking the victory. The next engagement for F&I needs to be a win.
Toti on eUnited's home hill. He picks up 1, waiting for a back A to clean up the second.
F is being decapped too.
Gets some help from his teammate. Multiple 1v1s being fought at F. Both won by eUnited, though.
That's it. eUnited is going to take this round. It came down. Player 2, first and foremost, Dyslexic needed to take Praized down. He doesn't. You also have player 3 on the opposite end who needed to take down an eUnited member. What I was about to say series. What a map.
Yeah.
That's map number 1. That was just
that's how Vascar. That's a round 9 Vascar feels like a 3-map series sometimes, man. But Praized, he went big for his squad.
Yeah, he did.
29 kills, 19 assists, and 17 deaths. That don't even matter, okay?
No.
He did work off each one of those respawns. He helped his team win this series. It was a nail biter, but it's not over with yet. You got to move on to map number 2. We're going to District.
We're going to District. Fire and Ice map pick, but man, that was good. I'm going to go back and rewatch that. That was just good gears, man. You know, I'm satisfied. I really am. That was just awesome. So I don't even know if you can really pick and choose what really. I mean, it was so close. It was just anybody's game. I mean, no one really blew it.
Yeah. So, yeah, no one really blew it. I would say that in the beginning of the game, both these squads played very, very well, trading out their bad side rounds, okay? From that top spawn of checkout, being able to spawn there and winning rounds. Now, eUnited took a commanding lead when they won their good sides on rounds 4 and 5. From there, F&I's most impressive round to me, not even a round that they survived in round 8, but the round before that, round 7, it was about a 30 or 40 second domination that they got to get us tied up. And that one right there was super important. Actually, it wasn't even get us tied up. It was the crazy round got us tied up. But that round before was the one that gave F&I a lot of momentum to even get us towards that round number 9. But it was chaos here. And, you know, even though I think eUnited, when it comes down to strategy, they're a little bit better on Vasgar, but if you play as fast as Fire and Ice, the way that they wolf pack, taking battles, taking 1v1s, being there for each other, you know, this is a map for a team that doesn't know how to sit still. They find a way to put themselves into some big they find a way to put themselves into some great position to make some big time plays. We saw that throughout the map. It was a good one between both these squads. It went down to the end, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one again too.
You got that. I'm definitely going back and watch, especially when we lost our minds. Gee. Again, I'm just happy. You know, that was just incredible. It truthfully was. And that's map number 1. And we're heading into District as map number 2. Fire and Ice is map pick. And it could be just as close as this one was. I hope we get to Foundation, because that's going to be a fun one with eUnited. We know their mid presence is phenomenal. They've been changing the meta there. It's one of their strongest maps, to be quite honest with you, as of recently. And Fire and Ice, though, they've got a lot of people who can slay with the best of them. And they're going to have to slay with the best of them. You just witnessed Praized and Powerz and their ability to outslay the team of F&I through and through. I don't care how close that was if it goes to round 9. eUnited outslayed F&I 100%. They played absolutely incredible, but with the way Vasgar plays, F&I objectively was able to play incredibly well, win a couple of big fights, and hey, now they've got the hill, and that saved them in the end. But District isn't as forgiving when it comes to not outslaying your opponents. You have to stay up there kind of, you know, closely contested in overall slaying power, because if you don't, you're giving up a lane for an OE. You're giving up the lane for the neutral or even the mid control. All these things matter on District. And again, on Vasgar, you can get away without outslaying your team. On District, not so much. So F&I is going to have to step it up 100%.
Yeah, they definitely do. We've watched F&I put teams in a clinic on District because they just did not know how to handle them off the initial when it comes down to those big team battles there towards either at Cinema or down low at Bandstand. I think we are going to see F&I play for some of those long range weapons. Dyslexic and Xploidz, they enjoy having a sniper and an M-bar in their hands. eUnited, they'll play for the fight. They also know how to spread the fight out if they do not like it off the start. So District, hey, it's gonna be a good map. I will say I am happy to see Praized slaying out the way that he did on that Vasgar map, because if eUnited is gonna be as successful as we think they are gonna be, he needs to be the second slayer of this squad, and it needs to be definitive. Okay, before in the past, you've had combinations like Powerz and Mental, Powerz and TJ. Icy at his prime there, shooting with Mental as well. I always felt like Praized was more of an overall flex player on the team. You know, he got the job done. He played his position well. You still never wanted him to fight in a 1v1, but the kills were being passed around to some other players on the team based off the team cop. And, you know, in Gears UE, he probably had 50% of the kills on his team, most of the maps back then. So he knows what it takes to be a big time slayer, to be a main slayer. But late of years, he haven't had to be that guy for his squads. But now that they need him to do that. They're going to need him to take over some of these games. And I like what I saw in Vasgar.
Yeah, definitely so. Praized is built different, man, the way that he played. Powerz as well. He's only 14 eliminations away from reaching the 1,000 kill mark. We've been following that storyline for, a couple weeks now. I think it started last week. But, hey, 14 eliminations away. And you better believe he's going to get that 14. Unless Fire and Ice just puts eUnited in a chokehold and slams them down. I don't think that's going to be the case with how map number 1 went. He's going to pick up the 14 eliminations and reach that 1,000 kill mark and be the first one to do so, which... it's the little victories, Blaze. You're going into the spring major. Those little victories can set you ahead, man, and especially mentally. But you know what? For eUnited, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have them in grand finals for the spring major. I truthfully do. At this point, it's up to teams like Fire and Ice, Rebel. I honestly expect Pittsburgh Knights to be there too. I'm not going to lie, but it's up to these other teams to try and shut them down without question. And with the way Fire and Ice is battling now, it's nice to see. Obviously, they're fighting for potentially a first place spot, at least in the future. It could happen mathematically still. But with that being said, we need to see this level of energy that we've seen tonight across the board during the spring major. And you need to bring it in, because if the spring major plays like tonight is playing, we're not going to have a voice by Sunday.
We're not gonna have a voice if these players keep stalling us out as well. All right, we're yapping around back and forth. But hey, I'm with you. Okay, I'm expecting eUnited, and I'm expecting eUnited to be top 3. I'm expecting PK to be top 3. I'm expecting VQ to be top 4. As far as whoever else makes it in there, I don't know. Okay, but those are 3 teams in my top 4 that I'm expecting to be in that position. Okay. Now, Fire and Ice can grind there. Oxygen can wake up. I don't know what they're gonna consume to play at that level, but Oxygen could be a dark horse and run the losers bracket.
Or Team Queso. Mean, shoot, Team Queso at this point as well.
I was thinking of Team Queso when I was saying Oxygen. I was thinking of Team Queso because last season they were Oxygen, but now they're Team Queso. So Team Queso can make the run through the losers bracket the way that they were playing today. Elevate, we haven't seen the best of them yet. Rebel, oh, there we go. Rebel for top.
I just said Rebel. Yeah, Rebel. You got to put them up there. They could be top 3.
You do.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't. Hey, I'm not calling top 3, but I'm saying
my NA representation. If any NA team is going to win this event,
that's eUnited.
It's either going to be eUnited or VQ.
I'd say eUnited for sure. Honestly,
it's one of the two.
Yeah, okay. VQ. I trust him, Bronny. I do, but
I don't know how well he'll play in his first grand finals, but
that's the thing.
That boy don't got nothing to lose. He's playing on one of the best teams out there. He got 3 of the best players surrounding him. He just needs to ask himself on a daily basis, how can I make y'all better?
That's true.
How can I fill a void that seems unfillable? What can I do? He does that over the next 7 to 10 days. Those boys can win.
All right, well, here we go. It's time to get into this district matchup, and Praized off the rip just handles his business and literally clotheslines just about the entire team of F&I. Big domination attempt coming through. Xplosive just trying to keep one busy, and wow, that's not looking good for F&I. 30 seconds flat. eUnited takes round 1.
I think we came in towards the back end of the initial where Xplosive was picking up kills. Him and Praized, they shoot out, they clean up 2 together. And that was a quick trip cap domination on the side of eUnited. Now we're going to get some Botox placed down low. And Fire and Ice right off the start says, we're not wasting no time.
Oh, yeah.
Putting the sniper down and engaging in this 3v3 team fight.
Yeah, this 3v3 team fight, that's what they want. You know, that's where they feel comfortable. It's no surprise. You know, you have certain teams that you just know a power weapon is going down, and Fire and Ice is one of those rosters that loves to push it down or put down a power weapon early on. Xploidz leading the charge. I'm a bit worried about Powerz positioning, though. You can see him. He could go on the flank and kind of sandwich in these players, or he could just Lancer in. Either way, Xploidz finds an opening. Oh, he could take down Kenny. He does take down Kenny. On the other side, though, Praized and Powerz are going to be pursuing Xploidz. Xploidz holds it against ground. Needed one more shot of Praized. Can't get it, and Powerz gets the long shot.
All right, gonna have long shot in hand. Knows where his first target is going to be. Can't cap the B hill just yet. He's just going to kind of wait for his teammates to spawn up on the map, and they're going to take their time because first objective was getting the power weapon. Second objective is going to be getting a lead either off the neutral hill or their opponent's home hill. Now, Fire and Ice, they're stacking most of their numbers down low. eUnited has made that call out as well. So they got a few players getting aggressive on their spawn side of the map. Kenny gets the first engagement, and he will not win the second fight, but just trading out that kill gives this team a lot of intel. We'll see what they'll do with that.
Nice body shot. Powerz connecting, I believe, on the Toti across the way. Fire and Ice, though, reclaiming, actually, I guess just now getting a hold of the neutral, so they'll have the 2-1. Player 8. Now, he's going to be looking to make some moves. He's going to be pushing into a 1v2 onto Kenny. Who's just to his left? It's going to be, is that Praized? Fearzly's pushing back. He's going to be full red, but from the corner is going to be another one. Who is that to his right? That's going to be player 9. That's Toti. Oh, nice shot onto one. Kenny's out of the way. Praized, though, is going to be bullying him out alongside that of Powerz. And this is where Toti can come into the woodwork or into the fold, I should say, but he's going to back off, but he's not going to get anywhere. Fire and Ice now, they've got 2 less members on the map.
Yep, and so now Powerz is going to take map control rather than playing for the hill at this time by taking his opponent's juice. He puts a body shot on that player. His teammate is able to capitalize off of it. And that's just eUnited playing off their advantages, because as we love to say in Astro battles, damage is currency. And that's about to be so true as we get on over towards the major. Any damage in which you put out, you got to capitalize on it.
All right. Here we go into round number 3. eUnited is starting to truthfully take away. Now, you placed a long shot. It didn't work. What's the game plan now? I guess just you pan stand? Wow, so we don't need Boltox or Talons. We don't need Incense or Shocks at this point. We just need more power weapons. Like more cowbell, we need more power weapons, man.
I'm so surprised that Fire and Ice went that route off the start, because now eUnited is excited. They're like, bro,
yeah, they got everything.
We whooped your butt off the initial last time running this strategy. We're going to do it again. Now, both teams kind of flip-flopping their numbers. It's still going to be a 2v2 fight for both power weapons. Ultimately, as Powerz is trying to defend against this snipe, the battle's one up top. He's going to call for help from his teammate if he doesn't go for the home hill instead. He's actually capping B now. That's going to be Kenny. Has a sniper to his left, player in front. Ooh! Do it! Ooh!
Oh.
Damn, I felt that.
Oh, and Praized too? And Praized too? No.
Okay.
Dyslexic takes him out, but he's going to
for a
drop.
second, but how long is he going to live?
Not much longer, surely. Yeah, he's gone. He's going to be eUnited now, locking it in. Toti, he's at the 1 yard line. Oh, man. His 3-0 lead now for eUnited, and now they're going to have a shock or an instant, whichever one they want, but they've got free reign, and FNI hasn't even started building their weapon tree.
It's going to take 2 placements for them to get a shock or an instant. Most importantly, they're going to get a retro Lancer for
the retro, yeah, and then
maybe a retro Lancer to rotate from hotel to bandstand for them to utilize. I think that's going to be the first placement that they need to build up in this moment. Center
line now, I guess. For why start building now? You're so far behind.
Might as well throw it all away. This is the only placement where they will get a leg up in, is start and build the up top one. But I think that FNI would have did a better job at just allowing eUnited to possibly put a power weapon down low. Would have worked out better for them. But hey, we'll see how this plays out. You know, it's a reason why we don't see too many power weapons center line. But, you know, they out here running a UIU strategy.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see if it works out. Power. Oh, okay. Good. 4 down. Fire and Ice. Are they waking up? Let's see. They're going to have both power weapons, but Surely they'll get this domination before eUnited is able to get it. Yeah, the player 4 is not even going to move. All right, so that's a funky win, but I'll take it for Fire and Ice. 34 seconds. They take one and finally stop the bleeding.
All right. Yeah, they're going to stop it in that round. And from this moment on, Powerz is still going to be just about 7 kills away. Yeah, from that 1K marker. The way the speed in which this map has been going, he may not get it today. That's 7 eliminations, but eUnited need two rounds, and you know we know that only 8 kills will get you 2 rounds at this level of gameplay.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, 2 kills to get you a round. We saw that before. You know, you don't even gotta get you don't even need to slay out the whole team to get around. But
imagine if Powerz he gets
999.
999.
I think because you said that is gonna happen.
And then someone catches them and passes them just because their match is first before eUnited, and they just so happen to. Wouldn't that be crazy? But hey, it's possible. Xploidz gonna have the M-bar. He's got 2 players pressing him from eUnited. Xplosive, one's down. This is looking like another great push for F&I. Xplosive is out of the way too. That leaves player 3 Powerz by himself. He's gonna pick up one better in his stats. Ooh, body shot, nice shot. Can he get the finish onto Fearzly, I believe it is. He's full red, he's out of the way, and Fire and Ice going in for the domination.
Yeah, they're moving in for it, but can they come through? eUnited off the respawn. That kill coming through from Fearzly may just do it. If not, the second 2 will definitely guarantee them this round win. And that's 2 in a row for him so far. Seems like this middle strategy, putting these power weapons down, are starting to work out for him.
Definitely is. Well, at least so far. I expect so that's 2 rounds eUnited has lost in a pretty quick fashion, and that's based off the initial. What's the game plan here, Blaze, if you were playing for eUnited? Because, again, those initials, they lose that. Fire and Ice is looking good. We already know that. But how do you stop that? Do you slow it down? I think you slow it down.
Well, now you have the potential to bait out a victory with your shot grenade down low, and then vice versa on a flipping in for F&I. But as we see, when you start picking up those shot grenades, sometimes you don't get to the main fight in the middle of the map as soon as you can, and that's the power of 2 centerline weapons. It negates the effect of secondary weapons, because Gears of War is a game all about timing. So F&I, they get to the fight at bandstand, they trade out kills. It's currently a 1v1. Praized, dyslexic. Praized takes a little bit of initial damage, but he's using that right hand advantage to bounce out wide, looking for that kill shot, never gets it. Dyslexic finishes him off, and he's gonna pick up that M-bar.
But the benefit, though, is eUnited is able to extend the round by just, wasting a little bit of time, and it doesn't. Oh, no, Dyslexic, you needed to stay up there, brother, but angled out by Powerz and Kenny. But even so, Fearzly, oh, no, and Kenny gets it. Fearzly does take down Powerz, though, and that's going to give some position and get them closer towards F. But if I'm F&I and backing up, I'm not continuing this push. I don't think it's worth it.
Nah, this is where F&I needs to slow it down and show that they can play at a different pace. Make eUnited feel uncomfortable by doing that, force them to have to take some difficult fights. And Kenny just trying to take this 1v1 that he knows he has, because he needs to cover this lane for a squad. Powerz is going to find a kill across map. So man advantage here for the side of eUnited. They're trying to collapse on top of Xploidz, blocking them off from multiple different lanes. He uses the shot grenade to slow down one player, but doesn't slow him down enough. Kenny still has the M-bar. He's watching Juice, and his team is just going to take the home hill setup. We'll see if that's enough for a win condition in the late game, though.
Might be. Ooh, Fearzly takes down Powerz. This is a big win if he can take this. It's a 2v1. Praized, though, has pulled off some pretty big moments. In that moment, it's not going to happen.
That's a scenario where Praized just has to run away. He thinks somebody's chasing him, and he cuts back into the fight. But, once the revive came through and he got some distance, he just needs to play his life in that scenario and be annoying at top cinema. He does that, we're not getting threatened with trip cap domination. And also, eUnited may still have their home hill.
Domination coming through. Powerz knows he needs to get a touch. He's going to go for it. The utility's out, but he's lancered at the 1 yard line. And Fire and Ice, 3 in a row, have tied it up. This has been the most wild series.
Just that quickly, we're all tied up. That's all I was thinking.
I don't get it. I actually don't.
The chat was going crazy for eUnited. Now the F&I fans are like, hello? Are you guys there? We don't hear you talking no more.
Well, I don't see FNI. That's what I'm saying. FNI needs more real estate in the chat. Like, they don't talk enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, represent well.
Guys out.
The only thing that I see is like FNI fans are weird. Like, I want to see you guys come out big.
All right. Hey, you guys been called out by Taylor Reflections.
Not that it matters. They don't care about that. You see what they do for free skins? They'll throw me under the bus for a free skin.
Yeah, yo, right? Yeah, we already watched it once tonight. You know, they're easy to bribe.
Well, let's see how this goes. Blaze off to another initial. Now, Fire and Ice has won 3 rounds because they've won 3 initials. And that's a good start for eUnited. Praized will take down Xploidz, picks up the M-bar. Dyslexic now is in no man's land, forced to back off. Still an opportunity to make a play, but not when you're getting 1v2 like that. He tries to force the issue on Xplosive. That was the best move, but eventually falls short. But on the other side, though, things are going well for FNI. So a bit of a trade here. eUnited may have the 2-1. They also have the M-bar, but Fire and Ice, they have 1 hill to their name, and they also, and that's going to be M-bar versus long shot.
Yeah, and you see the timing of that type of fight. Praized knew that he just had to jiggle peek that wall when it was his time to shoot. The fact that Toti even thought about that angle to try to catch him from spawn, and he hits that shot, I go crazy. I'm off the mic for the night. That's where I lose my voice. Well,
my voice is going.
Well, he still has a sniper in hand, and Fire and Ice has 2 hills to their name right now.
Yes, they do. Toti, connect on those shots. Let them know who you are. Praized. Oh, that's a body shot on Praized. Imagine if that's a headshot. M-bar's gone. Actually, M-bar's probably on the ground at that point. I'm assuming Praized would have still had it in his hands. He still has it in his hands. He's going to go in and backpack it for the time being. He has 1 more shot left. If he can connect this shot onto Toti and get the long shot out of the way, you want to talk about massive plays, that would be
active. You better make that an active shot. There you go.
There he goes.
There you go. Get the active shot in the boat. He's getting ready. I think that active lasts about 10 seconds or so.
Oh, this is such a big shot.
Ooh, that's the body shot that helps his teammates out because they did win the fight. Now Toti takes out Kenny as he's approaching. That teammate is still alive down low, and Toti gets a second. He's feeling like he can get a third, and I feel like he can get it as well.
No, he's full red. He's gone.
He would have headshotted him. I just want to throw that out. He didn't have to
with the reaction shot, you think we've seen it happen? That would have been nasty.
Just shot him over the cover.
Yeah, I felt it. I did. I felt it. After that second one, I was like, he can do it. Shoot. This is an eUnited round, potentially. Fire and Ice. Well, hold up. They take down 2 members. They're going to gain potentially. Is that a shock? That is going to be a shock. Forcing Dyslexic out. Gets the decap. 194 in counting. The scoreline's still very close, and the neutral is going to mean a lot for Fire and Ice, but also for eUnited as well. And Powerz continues to push up. Another elimination to rack up.
That's 199 right there, and for his 1000th kill of the Pro League.
Dang. Can't get it just yet. He's going to get it, though.
I got to do this for social. With 999 kills, can he get 1,000 Powerz with the M-bar in hand? 2 shots left. With 990.
Hey, you tried for the social. Hey, next time he's on screen, I'll give it to you again, brother. So I feel bad at this point. you set that up 4 times, 5 times, 7 shots, and it just didn't happen.
Fire and Ice have won 4 in a row. He may not get it, Taylor. He has to get it, right?
You surely.
If FNI wins this, we got a whole nother map. Of course, he gets it tonight, but.
I could imagine he just sits at a big fat goose egg on map number 3 and stays at 999. Surely not. Now, the only way he doesn't finish it up here is if the round ends in 30 seconds. He gets
nervous, I guess, because, you know, he must knew that was his 1000th kill, and because he missed every single one. It was 4 players on his screen.
You said for the social, Taylor. All right. Hey, here we go. Second shot for the social. We're on board with Powerz. Blaze. 999. Can Powerz finally get his 1000th kill?
Powerz is going to be playing here towards the mid-map, looking for that first blood, looking to make history in a Pro League as he steps up. 999 kills to his name. And with that one, his teammate steals, but that makes it 1,000. Congrats to Powerz for slaying out and entertaining us all throughout the league.
And Blaze, good job for calling that. It's like you knew it was about to happen, not like you set it up 2 times. But oh, and he gets his head removed at the end. But hey, well done for Powerz. Seriously, all jokes aside, reach 1,000 kills. That's a lot when you're going against the best of the best. But hey, Powerz is the best of the best, so it makes sense. Praized has the M-bar. Who's got the long shot? Well, Praized is gone, so no more M-bar. Excuse me. Toti does have the long shot. Nobody has the neutral, but eUnited has a decent lead.
Oh man, it's a decent one, but let's see if they can hold on to it because we haven't talked about it. The story is Fire and Ice winning 4 rounds in a row. They have turned up here. And you know, I was curious about what that other team in the top 4 would be, but look how they just think about Fire and Ice beat PK. Woo, what a headshot from Toti. See how aggressive they play this eUnited squad. It's always a fight to the death between these 2 teams. The last time they played each other in the Pro League, Fire and Ice came out with the victory. So we're seeing some of that confidence right now.
Definitely are. This is so big. I want a game 3. I truthfully do. I don't want tonight to be over with as of yet. This has to go game 3. Can he doubles back? What? He doubles back and Dyslexic makes him pay. And no, Dyslexic, it's not time for that. You haven't won yet. Don't dance. No! He just cursed F&I. I don't even care if they're getting a domination. Player 1's going to pull off a 3-piece.
Nah, he timed that boy out. Okay, he got time to the next map. That's 5 in a row for F&I, boy. We're going to a map number 3.
I'm having too much fun, man. This is the most fun I've had. That's 5 in a row.
They're putting on a show. That's crazy.
Like, Fire and Ice has the most lackluster performance 3 rounds in a row and getting destroyed 3-0 and then they win 5 in a row. I don't get it. But hey, there's a lot of things I don't get, but one thing I do understand, we're going to a commercial break. Game 3 is going to be coming up next. It's going to be Foundation. I don't know who's taking this. Chat, keep it going in the chat. Let us know who you think is going to win it. I'm sending it. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. And welcome back to the Gears Pro League Day 7. We are in our 4th map going, or 4th series, I should say, going to map number 3. We're going into Foundation. eUnited and F&I have been just deadlocked at this massive battle that I'm having a blast casting alongside Blaze. And I don't know, Blaze, please help me understand because I'm lost. Okay. Fire and Ice gets destroyed, and I mean just decimated in the first 3 rounds. I'm like, man, this is, and then they went 5 in a row. What?
So to break that one down for you, Taylor, they lose round number 1. Right after round number 1, they put the sniper rifle down up top. Still not proven to be the most successful strategy. Round number going into round number 3, they put the M-bar down low.
No, right? They did it round number 2.
It was the M-bar was round
number 3. I'm done.
Yeah, close to round number 3. It was a 3-0 lead when an M-bar came down onto the map for the side of the boys of eUnited. Well, sorry, for both squads. What I'm trying to say, Taylor, all right, because the last map got me all jumbled up, is that when you put 2 centerline power weapons down like that, it negates the secondaries. It took a while for eUnited even to kind of win an initial having that free shot grenade that they did from down low. Because if you go for the secondaries, by being late if you go for secondary fights and your opponent plays 2-2, 2 men straight to the sniper, 2 players straight to the M-bar, and you stop for a shot grenade or an incendiary grenade, they get to the power weapon first, they back it up, and they just get map control. You got 6 shots with M-bar, 6 shots with sniper. At that point, you can take your opponent's secondaries. They're not going to do much for them in that specific moment. So Fire and Ice was able to make plays from there, just being quick off the initial, which at first I thought was weird because in the fashion in which they lost that initial, it seemed like they were placing that sniper up top to get away from that fight. Because that's what teams do. It's like, you know what? When we have the map spread out in a 1-2-1, it doesn't work out for us. That 50-50 fight of hopping into that juice, trying to stun that player and cap that B hill, they don't like those type of engagements. So you end up putting a sniper in one portion of the map, but it usually sits there for a few rounds, and we probably never get a second power weapon to the final round. Well, we got it early in that series. And I've been thinking about this for a while because if you do decide to do 2 centerline power weapons off the jump, that negates a lot of these team strategies out there that they've
Sure.
been working on, that messes up the whole meta that we have here, because no one outside of the UIU girls team had the balls to do it during
True.
their tournament. Okay.
True.
And so, you know, and they completely dominate that tournament. But then we was asking the question, well, maybe they were just in a league of their own. Okay. They were in a league of their own against everybody else. I think the 2 center line power weapon strategy can work out for a lot of these pro teams, for them to set the map up how they want it. You can put nades on one side, Torque on the other side, and keep playing around just center line initials and building up your secondaries towards the late game. It's risky, but it may be the better strategy from some of these squads, because you stop teams like eUnited and Rise Nation and, you know, some squads like Noble who love those secondary shocks and incendiary grenades, and they get a lot of big kills off of them. You just say, hey, come fight us in the middle. Okay, put the power weapons down and, you know, let's play some classic gears.
You know, but what's so weird about that, man, is like the long shot and the M-bar was still placed, and eUnited still won 3 rounds in a row in convincing fashion when the M-bar and the long shot was there.
Yeah, but then they started losing, because the thing is this.
Yeah, they did.
Gears of War, round by round, you are gathering intel on your opponent. Okay, where did they send their numbers? What was their initial strategy this round and next round? And you start finding patterns in that. So you're building, you're trying to create a winning strategy against them on a round by round basis. It just took 3 for F&I to come up with that win condition against the boys of eUnited. And, you know, eUnited had got their share of the power weapons. But if I had to pick one location on the map I felt Fire and Ice was at their strongest, it had to be the bandstand fight, and Dyslexic is a big portion of that success.
So
Toti also won a lot of big 1v1s against Powerz, against Sniper, that we gotta point out as well. So eUnited was forced to meet Fire and Ice in the mid-map and fight these battles, and F&I, they got exactly what they wanted.
So now we're heading into map number 3, Foundation, to decide it all. Now, granted, just to recap you guys in chat, if Fire and Ice wins this, there's a very good chance they can overtake first place. Winning this would put them in second place as it is, dropping Rebel down to third. Now, with that being said, eUnited would, in fact, I believe, be in second place themselves. They will not be able to overtake Pittsburgh Knights unless they absolutely mess up. But there is a chance, there is always a chance eUnited can take first. But either way, this match is for second place. That much we know. But now we're heading into Foundation, and man, things are going to get wild. Honestly, who has the favoritism on this map? Because I'm thinking eUnited has a great mid game. Fire and Ice, I'm a bit foggy as to their performance on Foundation.
So, firstly, I just want to say, when it comes down to the battles of first place, okay, if eUnited wins this, they need VQ to beat PK to get first place. If F&I wins this, all they have to do is win their matchups tomorrow against Oxygen and Rebel, and they will be in first place because they have the head-to-head to PK. But then PK needs all these guys just not to pass them. They're only scared of F&I in this scenario, because I do believe they have the head-to-head against everyone else in the league, and VQ can't take first place. So,
all right, fair enough.
I'm giving a leg up in this map. After watching the last 2, I don't know. I'm not even gonna just throw I can't throw anything out there. I don't know. I'm speechless right now.
Kenny letting Dyslexic know off the start. I want to point that out, by the way, giving him the love tap. Not even 1 time, not even 2 times, but 3 total times. All right, 1 and 2 is respectful. 3, you're letting them know you're setting a point. But Fearzly and Xploidz are angry. They're coming off and they're saying, you know what, Kenny, that's fine. Okay, I wanted to make sure he picked this up. You know what, Kenny, that's fine, but check this out. We're still in it, and we're looking to take this map. Fearzly, come on, can you do it? Dancing around. Toti's there for some help. Still, though, Praized putting up a great fight, but at the end, Fire and Ice will stay alive.
All right, so F&I, they will get another chance at a team fight. They got their home hill back. They will lose 1 player at the B hill right away before they can even get set up. So eUnited is going to try to play off these numbers. You see him taking angles, trying to take out Dyslexic, but he gets some help. He got a fling came through mid-map. Toti's going to save him. I thought he was going to get angled out, but Kenny gets blindsided. Next thing you know, it was a 2v1 turned onto eUnited. At this point, Praized is just trying to extend the map, stay alive. Big 1v1 for him, but couldn't get the kill and get out of dodge to decap the home hill.
Interesting stuff from F&I, fighting tooth and nail to try and make this happen. They will lose at least a couple of members, or at least, excuse me, Dyslexic. Fearzly might drop here as well, depending on how Powerz decides to play this, but the win condition in F&I's hand has to make them feel good. Toti looking to get some trades. That's going to be one down. That's huge. Kenny is going to be able to pick off, actually just let Toti bleed out. Xploidz can't get the touch, and one has come through mid. That's going to be Praized, forcing the issue onto H. Dyslexic is there, and F&I understands not allowing eUnited to get this decap and full cap is massive, but either way, they might not have a choice. Xploidz, you gotta push Kenny. He gets the kill over cover. Praized and Powerz don't move through, and Praized actually picks up all of them.
Oh my God. So eUnited, they come through. They're able to win that fight, and now they have a 2-to-1 heal set up to their name. So far, so good for them. And they just gotta hold this. 11 seconds on the clock. Now, eUnited, they should have no issues closing this one out with their home hill locked in. So round number 1 is gonna go to them.
Yes, it definitely is, and that's a good start. But again, it wasn't necessarily easy. eUnited did, in fact, have an opportunity to go for the domination. They unfortunately fell a bit short. That was because Fearzly fought for his life, and because he fought long enough for Toti to get back into it, they were able to take down Praized and then ultimately try and establish at least some control with the 2-to-1. But ultimately, eUnited does take the round. But that comes to show you the battle we're going to continue to see. Now, does Fire and Ice build for the Boltox and then up to the retros? I think you have to. You can't play it like District. The retros on this map are supreme, and you need them because you cannot win if you do not utilize a retro appropriately.
It's crazy how some teams can set the meta, and like just one team alone can set the meta for some of these maps. I feel like you have to build up these lower secondaries just in case you need that incendiary grenade for the second half in a power weapon on that side of the map. Also, some squads think that the shot grenades are just super important when it comes down home hill to home hill in the second half at Weldon's and Fountain, but it comes down to building those Botox down low. Fearzly takes out Praized. 2 members down on the side of eUnited. Xplosive backing up towards mid-ramp. Big 1v1 for him, but couldn't get time for the second shot. Kenny goes down. But luckily for the eUnited fans, that was on F&I side of the map. So these Fire and Ice players need to overextend towards eUnited side. So that's a 200 IQ play by Xplosive and Kenny just to buy their teammates a little bit more time. But in the end, it didn't get them the amount of time in which they needed.
Not at all. 1-1, all tied up. Fire and Ice keeping it close. Who's going to be the team to chain together a couple of rounds in a row? That was the big question. Interestingly enough, Dyslexic at the bottom, 0-3, 5 deaths to his name. We'll see if he can step up his game, and when he does, things are going to get crazy. But after the first 2 rounds, Blaze, who do you think has the edge at this point?
After the first 2 rounds, I can't tell you, Taylor. It was 1-1. Give me the first.
I know it's tied up, but I'm just, have you seen anything special?
Give me the first half. Well, one thing is that I've been seeing is that I like eUnited's initials at the B hill just a little bit better. One thing for F&I is having Dyslexic in this 1v1 lane up top against Kenny. I think he's going to have a lot of confidence in his position of the map where he feels like he can get aggressive and press that lane out, but he is playing against one of the better defensive players in the game, so Kenny will make him work for it. Now, mid-map, we see Powerz. He makes his way towards open, gets a better angle to fight that engagement, and now he can move around and take 2 different fights. Toti can sense danger, so he backs up and says that, yeah, you guys aren't going to 2v1 me. Now, it comes down to eUnited putting their focus on Xploidz and Fearzly.
Oh, a bit of a miss. Fearzly had to know Powerz was there. I don't know what the...
He should have known, but that was, I don't know, yeah. It didn't work out.
Toti might be able to fix his mistakes, though. Toti picks up 1 and forces the other one through mid. And Fire and Ice against all odds takes B. But then again, eUnited's on the overextension, but I'm not going to lie, Fire and Ice just got away with murder there. They should have lost a lot more control than they did.
I totally agree with you. If Toti doesn't pick up one of those kills from the mid-map, then that could have been a domination for eUnited. But in this position, F&I does have control of B. Now they're working to get their home hill back. And he's going to rotate, but the double pistol catches him before he can get around a corner. Now their home hill is going to be threatening. Praized is going to have to come off respawn and pick it up. if Kenny wants to give them that call out, instead, these members of eUnited are going to try to 3-man group. They already have a focus of the B hill. They're going to try to take their opponent's ramp so that they can double back and get this hill with ease. And I like that, playing for map control and positioning rather than making an obvious play at running in a hill.
Okay, fire and ice. What are you going to do? You had the point lead. Now it's going away. And matter of fact, the domination's coming through. Naturally, they're going to be on Charlie, so they'll be okay. But you got to deal with Praized. Praized is living rent-free, basically. Toti needs to challenge him and take him out. But now it's going to be a 2v2. And losing half your team would be devastating, especially on your own home hill. Now you're losing the opponent's home hill. So something has to break. Which team is it going to be? Well, the reinforcements come in, and they will force eUnited off. But Praized goes for a double back. Worst scenario, he gets taken down, and Fire and Ice looks to gain control once again. eUnited has a lead, but just barely. But now we're getting to the later portions of the game. We're edging closer and closer to the 250 mark, so whoever has the 2-1 from this point forward is going to have a tremendous advantage.
So far, that is eUnited, but Fire and Ice, they're being very proactive at decapping his B hill. Toti doing his best to play his life, but he's going to finally fall. Fearzly is in the middle of a 2v1. He's going to try to get this kill. Nice initial damage. Can he turn it into a 1v1? But misses the wrap shot, and Powerz backs up, plays it very defensively, makes it as hard as possible for Fearzly to clutch up. And eUnited with the B hill to their name should have no issues whatsoever finishing out this round.
And I'm going to say really good job from Praized. Heads up play from him to go for the overextension, finding a gap in the defense from Fire and Ice. He forced Fire and Ice to rotate back because at that point, if Fire and Ice has their own home hill and they have the neutral, they can continue to fight forward. They're not in a rush to really provide any defense or really, they don't even need to go for a domination at that point. But because Praized gets the decap and the full cap on F&I's home hill, they're forced to rotate back, waste precious time while eUnited was now getting set up on pistons. And that ultimately was the best thing Praized could have done, even though he doubled back and lost his life. It is what it is. Sometimes you have to make selfless plays like that. We have Vincent's for statue. It's 2-1. eUnited has the lead. Fire and Ice forced to answer back.
And when you are roaming around a map like that, you need to make sure you get towards your opponent's side, because, you know, you die in some 1v1 position. You got to ask your team, ask yourself, well, how does that hurt my squad in that moment? Right. But it's also alleviates pressure from certain lanes. You don't necessarily have to get kills, but sometimes just drawing attention on your opponent's side of the map is all you need to do to buy your teammates time to get the real power positions that you're looking for on the map. So when we speak about power positions here, controlling either one of these ramps on either side, like you saw eUnited push up that ramp before they capped the hill. But if one squad can push from fountains to welding, they're going to have a free lancer on their opponent's home hill. So that's a key position to be in. And sometimes, you know, a distraction elsewhere can help you get there.
A lot of bullets flying around, but nobody dropping as of yet. Xplosive is dying to get down there in boxes, rotating the pistons. But the opportunity doesn't come around as of yet. Fair enough. He might actually chunk this flash in the pistons if he can find the different angle, given the advantage to players 6 and 9. That was going to be Praized and Powerz, but he opts to just back off a little bit. The standoff still taking place. Fire and Ice comfortable in their spot. eUnited forced to be the ones to make the first engagement, but I think at the end of the day, if Fire and Ice finds an opening, they're going to go for it as well. And I don't know if they're waiting for Xplosive for Toti to drop here, but if either one drops, that is going to be devastating, and the other team is going to push forward immediately. This is going to be it. So Powerz is going to drop down. Fire and Ice now is going to push full speed ahead.
All right, so before even getting the first kill, they want to focus and make sure they can take down Praized. Kenny, Xplosive, they're pushing across towards the home hill. Dyslexic had an incendiary grenade. He will not connect with that one. Still has to fight the 1v2. And he ain't got no issues picking that up with a little help from his teammate. They lock in his home hill. They're going to double back towards B. There is 2 eUnited members off the respawn. F&I know exactly where they are. B hill isn't capped just yet. But you see the decap comes through. Powerz can't get the revive, and unless eUnited wins the fight at the home hill, F&I has this all tied up 2-2.
Fearzly wrapping around, taking down Kitty. Dyslexic to help. And like you said, that is going to be the route. And Dyslexic letting Kitty know. If you guys remember, Kenny at the beginning showed love to Dyslexic, gave him the old 3 love tap. Dyslexic now letting him know, check it out, I'm still here. We're tied up 2-2. It was a bit too early. But I gotta say, it was Dyslexic who started this all in District with the Batista bomb. All right. That's where it all started. So it's been going back and forth. And if you had to look at a source, it was Dyslexic.
Yeah, that's a great place to put the frustration, or at least put the tension. Hell, you know, at least he did it when they won the round and they closed out the map. Okay, because I always say, if you're gonna talk some trash, talk it when you win. Okay, don't give your opponent some time to come back. So that was low. That was the map win. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do if he wins this whole series at the end.
Oh, Twitter, better be tuning in there, man. Just seeing what's got to be said, but. I think both teams can be very happy with how this series has been underway, or at least unfolding. I think everybody's got the spring major definitely in mind, but still unfinished. Oh, Xploidz is gone. That is a great connection from downtown for Kenny.
Beautifully timed. Beautifully timed. Now, when it comes down towards the E hill, we already see the incinerate grenade next with the kill, so man advantage for eUnited. The smoke grenades come out as well. They're going to spawn with a few of those smoke grenades to try to get this capture at E, but it doesn't come through. F&I gets a nice spread with that grenade, forcing the boys of eUnited back. But F&I has a lot of mid-map control, and they just got a kill on Explosive. It's looking like they're focusing towards the home hill, but the easiest hill for these guys to acquire should be E.
Should be E.
Yeah, and
it will definitely be. They're going to get it. Player 6 is left to bleed out. That's Powerz. That's 2 gone. And Xplosive wants to push up with his teammate, but it's not going to be the best play, especially with 3 members from F&I here. Now, F&I doesn't usually pump the brakes, and they're going to be pushing full send ahead. They've got to be patient here, though, or at least be cautious to not drop any of the players on their team. And it looks like they might be okay, but a trade might be here. Explosive can't get the pick. Now he does. He does get the trade. Meat shield in hand now, forcing the issue onto one other. Fearzly tries to back up, gets some spacing. Toti's going to be coming through. Powerz, though, is going to be able to pick up one. Powerz is going to be traded out. Kenny now is going to be on the other side. Fearzly doubles back to get the trade, and he is dipping out of there. The damage is not in. Fire Nice has a decent lead in map control.
And Fearzly doing a fantastic job playing his life. Instead, he's going to try to cut off a different player, and he gets a lot of damage on Praized. He takes this one with some confidence. But Praized gets the kick, double down mid-map, and the revive is there on the side of eUnited. You don't see too many of those come through, but it was the best play that he had in that scenario. 4v2 advantage for eUnited. They are on their way towards their opponent's home hill, but player 2 got behind enemy lines. So Dyslexic managed to decap his opponent's home hill, and he's going to keep Fire Nice in this round for a bit.
This is going to be massive for eUnited. Every elimination they get is huge. Toti and Xploidz are out of the way. That leaves 2 more players remaining. You're going to notice player 8 is going to be doubling back to challenge on to player number 2. Fire and Ice, they have the win condition, but 30 seconds is an eternity to hold on to it, and they've got to retake D if they want a chance, but they're getting Lancer from the front, Lancer from the back, and Dyslexic is in a critical 1v1. But even so, on the other side, Fire and Ice does make a break for it. Still, more work to be done. Powerz is going to be up ahead. Toti fighting for his life, hits a great shot, but the team pickup's going to be there. Can he get the chunk? Yes, he can on a 1, but Toti eventually falls, but Dyslexic holds his own versus Kenny on the other side of the map, and Fire and Ice should lock in this round, but I guess not just yet. They can get a touch on half, but no. Hold up, Blaze.
I think it's...
Oh, that's not enough.
They got it.
With the way the series is going, it wouldn't be surprising if the break does happen at 2:49, but in this case, it doesn't. That's 2 in a row for F&I.
All right, F&I. They're going to get the first round of the second half, and that's off the back of some big plays from Dyslexic. Overextending from welding the fountains. He kept his opponent's home hill cap. The moment where eUnited was rushing across map towards welding to get that hill capped up, once they recognized that Dyslexic was capping a home hill, they all should have backed up. They had enough time to kill him and reset the map, meaning that they got intel on every lane so that no one's behind them. Even though if eUnited wins that fight at welding, F&I still has a play because Dyslexic is alive behind enemy lines, and at that point, F&I they took their numbers. Those 3 guys that came off the respawn just wolf packed until they were able to find kills, and their teammate was able to get them the heals that they needed.
Another great
Double
connection. Oh my, yeah, you're right. A double connection. Xploidz. Kenny is hot. You got to make sure you're watching out for him. Fearzly, though, not holding back. He wants revenge. Kenny's down low. He's been angled out, and he is left to bleed out. And Fire and Ice with the 2-1 off the rip. Player 9, though, looking to put matters into his own hand. Praized goes for the overextension. Xploidz needs to get him out of here. He's going to be successful, and that's going to pump the brakes on the players down low. Xplosive was pushing full steam ahead, but Xploidz goes for the push himself. I don't think that push was warranted. Why give the advantage over to eUnited? But Toti looks like he's going to be bailing out the team of FNI. And hold up, that Snapfire is impressive. And he's going to get 2 downs, and Dyslexic gets to clean up. And FNI now is going to be pushing for the OE.
I don't know how far Powerz is back from Xplosive, but that's one of those scenarios where you got to get the revive before you go for the kill. But Powerz DNA is that I'm shooting before I'm pressing X on anybody, all right? So that he could have, I think he could have saved Xplosive there, and that could have been a different fight. But you come back towards statue, and Kenny is at the statue, but he's getting pressed by 2 FNI members. He can't survive that fight for long, but you see the rotation coming around, making it 2v2 for eUnited. They get one, but Xploidz is not trying to lose this series right now. Big Pig can't make the play. eUnited, they will survive with this E-Hill.
Oh, they're going to thrive. Look at this. They're going to make that push onto player 3. Toti, though, has been holding his own. He's been doing such a good job. That Snapfire is insane. He gets a lot of damage onto Kenny. Can he get the final? No, he cannot. And eUnited will get the break on their home hill. Fire and Ice parking the bus for the time being. I think it's a bit too early to do so, but they know they have to get the numbers back in their favor. All 4 members need to be back on the battlefield, and they need to see where eUnited is sending their numbers before they make a decision.
All right, so eUnited, you got 2 players watching the E-Hill, actually 3 players on this side of the map trying to work together. Fearzly found a way to get a kill on Xplosive.
That's huge.
Praized couldn't clean up Fearzly, and that's 2 in favor of FNI. They're in a good position in decap E.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's not a single. Actually, it stops FNI from. Oh, it doesn't stop him from capping that hill.
He doesn't. No, it doesn't. And he loses his life. This is going to be an FNI round. And X. Oh, no, don't do it to him. Even though we just started it this round. That is brutal. I don't know if that's $5 from Colin. I don't think it is because it's an execution.
That's not a retro charge. Yeah,
I'm just trying. Hey, I'm just trying to get him to spend money. That's it.
You know what? Colin may give him a hot $250 for it, and he can go out there and buy him a 2-liter. Because you know it's 2021 and 2 liters are.
How about a bag of Krispy Kreme popcorn? All right, I think that'll be good. That'll be all right.
I think
that's like $5 though. That's like $5. So
that's like, is that the same scale of kettle corn? Like I saw you guys post that and I was like, ugh. At first, I was like, I like Krispy Kreme. I like
Blaze, go try it before you say, oh, like it's good, bro. You're in culinary. You know some food looks nasty, but when you try it, it's like, oh, this is pretty good.
All right, man. I think about it. Maybe I might bring a bag on stream for the major or something. We'll see what happens.
All right, well, hey.
First time.
Fire and Ice is looking good, Blaze. This might be their map to take, but eUnited, I think they got a lot of gas left in the tank. Let's see what they're up to.
All right, incendiary grenades picked up for both these squads. These front spawn players are going to throw their flashes, but they have to dodge the flashes and the incendiary grenades. The flashes go screen left, the incendiary grenades go towards the inside at the hill, forcing Powerz and Xploidz to make difficult decisions, and Power will be able to hold some positioning on Statue just a little bit, but Xploidz may have got the better positioning because he can help his teammate down low. Also has that support fire up top, but Kenny is making sure that that player has to focus on him. Powerz cannot use that opportunity to get the play. And now FNI has the 2-1 hill advantage once again, and so far they have been a better team when it comes down to the initial at E.
They have. I think they've won it every time, if I'm not mistaken, in the second half. And this paid dividends. Fire and Ice is a team that's momentum-based. If they have a great initial, they have a great round. That's typically how it works. eUnited has to strike when the iron is hot. Taking the initial off of FNI takes the wind out of their sails. But unfortunately, it doesn't come to fruition. At this point, Fire and Ice just has to remain composed because they have the lead. They can take this series. They can take this map. But they have to remain composed and continue to play they've been playing. eUnited, I'm not worried about their composure. I think they'll be just fine. Even though they're down 2 rounds currently.
2 kills. This is an important pinch here from eUnited. 2 players in the center lane, 2 players over towards the E-Hill. And this is where they want to be because they can Lancer the players coming off respawn. But the Retro Lancer for FNI does not allow Praized and Xplosive to be successful.
Oof. Dyslexic, he's gone as well. United again, that composure. Not worried about it whatsoever. Fire and Ice is the one who has to stay poised. This is their map and series to lose at this point in time. But a big answer back. Kenny and Powerz will be dropped off. That's 2 out of the way, and Fire and Ice will retake control of the 2-1.
All right, so F&I has the E hill locked in and the D hill, and they also have the lead. This is where they need to just relax. There's only 2 players alive on the map, and they can make this. They can set up their defense a little bit towards their opponent's side if they want to, but they want to play it safe. They say, all right, eUnited, we got our retro lance. We're just gonna funnel you up this hill. You see all the damage Toti's putting out. eUnited is like, man, forget this. We got another option, another lane, and they're like, no, we have to go. So pressure has to come through.
Yes, it does. Player 6, Powerz, he's going to go for the break. Player 4 is going to challenge a big connection with the instant. That takes down 3, and this should be a Fire and Ice round as they take the 2-1. Praized gets the break, but he's out, and that's going to be a map for Fire and Ice and a series, and it's going to be Toti letting them know. 2-1 victory. Fire and Ice takes it.
F&I are not playing around, folks. That's 4 rounds in a row in map 3. They have 5 rounds in a row on map number 2. They know how to take over games, and you can never count these guys out.
That was one hell of a series, Blaze.
Yeah, maybe it was after you called the Fire and Ice fans to get a little bit louder in chat when we were all tied up 3-3. You told them, like,
no,
hey,
they didn't say a single word. I saw Fire and Ice out there, but that was it. I'm telling you, they need to start backing their team and getting loud, man, because I still give the edge to eUnited in the chat. Those boys know how to support their team. Blaze, this was a great series. This was one of the best series I have casted and watched. I just had a fun time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always have fun watching gears. I truthfully do. But this was just extra fun. I mean, it just really was. I loved it. I don't know.
We got a map number 3 earlier in the day between Noble and Rise. Rebel and PK, the battle for first place did not disappoint. That went the distance at map number 3. You know, Elevate, Tidy, and Demise, you know, they showed their old team who was boss there in that 3rd series of the day. But this one right here, a battle between 3rd and 4th, and F&I, they have fought their way to earn their opportunity to get first place tomorrow in the Pro League. They have to play Oxygen and Rebel are the 2 teams they got to play. They play Oxygen first on Side Station, then they play Rebel on the mainstream. They've already beat PK on a head-to-head, and PK has a harder matchup against VQ tomorrow. So F&I, man, we are all watching. And I said earlier, like, my top 4, like, I didn't know who that other team was going to be. It's going to be F&I. I'm looking at, you know, them, PK, EU, and VQ to be there towards the major the way that we've been playing throughout 7 days of the Pro League so far.